in the Golf R for another video. Hi there guys, Sam here. Welcome back to another video. You join me on a gorgeous Saturday morning here in the UK in my Mk8 Golf R to talk a little bit around the Mk8 Golf GTI and how the price and specs have kind of been revealed now in the UK, and it is now available on the VW configurator here in the UK to order. So yes, let's get straight into this video. So yes, once again in the Golf R, up nice and early to enjoy what should be a fantastic day. And some recent news come out in the last couple of days that finally the exact pricing has been revealed. Now, I know this is quite important to a lot of my subscribers and to me and to other viewers of the channel, because it does set the tone from what the price is going to be like for the Mk8 Golf R, which I talk about a lot on this channel as well, but also whether or not the Mk8 Golf GTI is actually really worth buying, because, you know, price is king, cash is king, and yeah, this is quite an important time for VW. It's a difficult time to sell cars, and it's a difficult time for everyone. So yeah, let's get straight into what the actual prices are. Now, the first thing I should note, I had a little look at the VW configurator, and I'll put I'll put some screenshots as I'm talking as well. So the first thing you get if you log on in the UK to the VW Golf GTI, you just basically click on it on the configurator. The first line says horsepower to give you goosebumps, the Golf GTI. Now, it's pretty cold this morning and I'm a pretty thin guy, but I haven't got goosebumps at the moment, I'm not going to lie. It's a 245 brake horsepower car. Let's not get over ourselves. This car is 300 brake horsepower, and yeah, to be honest, this car probably does give me goosebumps when you really give it some. 245 is not really going to do that. So that's an interesting slogan. I think, yeah, marketing teams sometimes talk, yeah, and exaggerate a little bit for maybe the normal car enthusiast. But for a normal person who's after a car and heard of Golf GTI, that might just intrigue them to buy the car. Who knows? I think marketing teams are right up there with sales teams in the way they talk based on those type of lines. But the price wise, so that's the most important thing, and I'll talk about a little bit about the configurator. I've done a configurator before on the German one, but I'll talk a little bit around, yeah, how certain bits of actually speccing this car is a little bit confusing to me. It'd be interesting to know if it's confusing to you lot as well. But straight away, so the price in the UK for a 5-door manual, because you can only get 5-door, is £33,460. Now that does include about £540 worth of tax, which you have to pay for a new car and just the tax in UK roads. So £33,460. Now that is a few £1,000s more than what you can get in terms of its rivals, Civic Type R, Focus ST, think about that. But it's some way less than, say, like, the Audi S3, which is very close to sort of £40,000. If you want to spec a 7-speed DSG, you're going to be paying £1,500 more, bringing the total just shy of £35,000. Now, that is before any optional extras on your car, which you are obviously going to want on your nice Golf GTI Mk8. Now, one thing that I found, and I want to talk about just briefly, is if you spec different wheels now on any configurator, it will affect emissions, it will affect loads of different things, because that's the tolerances, you know, they do make big difference. You have a bigger rim size, you're going to be wasting more fuel, all that kind of stuff. The thing that I found weird is if you spec the 19-inch wheels, it automatically says that you have to have the adaptive dampers. Now, I found that a little bit weird. Fair enough, UK roads are terrible, but I wouldn't have expected you to be forced to spend the best part of £1,000 on adaptive dampers as well. So I found that weird. Check it out on the configurator yourself and see if I'm talking absolute rubbish. But yeah, you shouldn't really have the option. This rides on 18-inch wheels and it's fine on the UK roads. I think 19 on the Pretorias are a little bit difficult without the adaptive dampers, but, you know, it's a GTI. The suspension isn't going to be as hard as an R, fundamentally. So I found that a little bit weird. Another way to get a bit more of your money. But if you spec it up, say, with a decent paint, adaptive dampers, 19-inch wheels, you know, a few optional extras here and there, you're probably going to have to activate loads of stuff. I still haven't activated Apple CarPlay in this because I don't fancy paying £200 to VW to do so. So, yeah, you're going to be looking at a 36, 37 £1,000 car quite easily, to be honest with you. I think this pearlescent white paint, which I've loved, if you know, followers of mine, if you know the Mk8 Golf R, Oryx white looks stunning. It's like proper pearlescent. It's great, similar to our molten orange Fiesta ST, but in white. That's £1,000, by the way, if you want that on your Mark 8 GTI. So all expensive. So there you go. That's the pricing confirmed in the UK of the Mark 8 Golf GTI. What do I think about it personally? Well, I think for the consumer, I think it represents good value over the more expensive hot hatches out there. Say your 300 brake horsepower club hot hatches, your four-wheel drive hot hatches, which is obviously to be, you know, that's just generally how it's going to be, isn't it? But compared to its rivals, it is a fair bit more expensive, and you're not going to get discounts as you would on, say, like a Ford Focus or an i30N or even a Civic Type R. So it is quite tough, and particularly if you order one now, you're definitely not going to get any discounts because you're in an exclusive club of owning one. Would I buy a Mark 8 Golf GTI at all in, towards, we're, what we'd say, 26th of September 2020? Compared to say like an electric car, say like the ID3, which I have seen on the road recently as well, I actually generally would, because I think, let's be honest with each other, the infrastructure is just not there. It's a more expensive car. An ID3, not spec'd, is nearly sort of £38,000, £39,000. Yeah, unless you've got a house where you can really charge it and your commute's not too bad. Yeah, it's just not there yet. You're going to have to wait a little bit. So to actually get a Mark 8 Golf GTI is not the stupidest thing in the world. It fits today's times, put it that way. Hence why I still love this car. It's not too dissimilar. So there you go. There's the price. What do you think of that? Do you think that's expensive? Do you think that's not that expensive? From where I'm sitting, I think it is quite expensive. I think it sort of says to us that the Mark 8 Golf R, we already know it's not going to be as expensive as the Audi S3. It's a £37,000 car, isn't it? The Mark 8 Golf R. It's such a shame, really, isn't it? I gave £24,000 for this with 1,400 miles on the clock, 3 months old from a main dealer. For me, that's a lot of money back in 2017. Yeah, it's really expensive for a base car, the Mark 8 Golf GTI. Now I know the Mark 7 sort of tinkered near the £30,000 mark before, and inflation, all this kind of stuff. But you're paying more, but I don't really know what more you're getting. The power, it says, power to give you, goosebumps. It's stupid talk, really, isn't it? It's not going to give you any goosebumps. Give you goosebumps maybe if you come from a 60 brake horsepower car, but otherwise it's really not going to get you going like a Golf R would. So yes, I would certainly stay in the Golf R camp, and I think because I think you can probably get away with a lower spec Golf R, whereas with a GTI I think you would want a few toys. I would rather have a base spec bare bones Golf R Mark 8 over a base spec Golf GTI. Now I know it does have a manual gearbox, which is quite cool, and I don't think the Golf R is going to get that. Don't think it's going to get that. It might do, but I just don't think it's worth the difference. It was the reason why I got this car before. So I hope that kind of little idea, it's a VW channel, really. Obviously I do other content as well, fast forward Porsche and bits like that. But yeah, it's really interesting to find the actual exact pricing come out. We've discussed images, we've discussed the build-up of the car. This is the exact price of the car, and I'm sure they will sell, and I'm sure you can get some sort of representatively good finance deals or whatever if people go down that route. I certainly do not go down that route. Yeah, it's a thinker. It would have been nice. I mean, imagine if they'd priced it as, say, even if they could have got it down to, say, like £32,000 for a 5-door manual, I think that would have really said something. But it's just creeping at that area where it's just like, that's a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. Particularly if you're sitting in a Mark 7 GTI already, I wouldn't be rushing for this car, because the one thing that actually the reviewers recently, I think a Top Gear one said, was the one thing he didn't like was the new tech, because it's too complicated, which I'm 100% with as well. In which case, just stick with your Mark 7, save yourself some money. And I will do a video actually in the future of kind of why, sticking with your car, particularly in this day and age, is a very, very good idea, and it will save you so much money. But yeah, we'll talk about that video on another date. But yeah, let me know what you think about the price of the car. Will it put you off getting it? Are you getting it? Please let me know. You know, it's such a great community channel here. I get messages from people on Instagram, and I get obviously great comments from you guys in the comment section. So let me know what your honest thoughts are. Let me know if you will actually generally consider getting this car. It's easy kind of watching a video and you'll have absolutely no intention of getting one. But yeah, if you're half thinking about it, let me know your thoughts and what you think about the price. But there we go. That's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, have a fantastic rest of your day. It's a really, really nice Saturday morning actually here. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. Hence why I'm up early to shoot a video. But yes, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.